Hello, guys, and welcome to the first annual NFL Awards. And the NFL Awards ceremony, I just wanted to summarize the 2025-26 season with the best games, worst games, best players, and yeah, all that. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, starting off with some of the best games of this season, I think, the Chicago Bears and Cincinnati Bengals game, I think that was one of the best games of the season, especially late in the game, because so anyway, if you didn't watch it, um, the Bears just got a touchdown late in the fourth quarter. Then Joe Burrow and the Bengals offense came out. Bengals got a touchdown. I forget, I think Bears had a stop. And then they got the ball. And Caleb Williams, the Bears quarterback, he threw the game-winning touchdown to the rookie tight end. I don't remember much of it because it was early on in the season, week 9, I believe. But that was a super fun game to watch. If you want to watch it, you can see the box score. First quarter, Bears 7, Bengals 10. Second quarter, Bears 10, so 17-20. Then 27 to 33, I believe. 22, maybe. I don't know. I'm bad with math. Then Bears scored 16, Bengals scored 15, and the total was 47-42. So, great game. I recommend, if you haven't, you watch some of the clips from that game. So, anyway, moving on to our next greatest game of the season. This was week 1, Bills versus Ravens. I was sad to see the Bills win because I absolutely hate the Bills. So this game was a nail biter. The Ravens had it. See the box score: Ravens 3, Bills 7, Ravens 17, Bills 6. Third, Ravens 14, Bills 6. Fourth is where the Bills came back. Unfortunately, Ravens 6, Bills 22. So, as sad as I am to say that, the Bills had an awesome comeback with a game-winning field goal. The Ravens had them down by like 20 points, and then the Bills came back and won it. So, I recommend, if you haven't, you watch clips from these two games right here. Bengals versus Bears week 9 and Bills versus Ravens week 1. Now I am moving on to the worst game award, and that game goes to the Kansas City Chiefs and the Las Vegas Raiders week 6. Now, I am a huge Chiefs fan, but near kind of the end, it started to get boring because it was literally a 31-0 blowout. See, first, Chiefs 7, Raiders 0. Second, Chiefs 14, Raiders 0. Third, Chiefs 10, Raiders 0. Chiefs 0, Raiders 0. So, as proud as I am to see my team win, I just don't really like watching the blowouts. I like watching the close games. But anyway, if you haven't watched it, you can. It's kind of boring, but it's fun if you're a Chiefs fan. Moving on, speaking of blowups, and as good as the Bills did in week 1 against the Ravens, they absolutely fell apart against the Dolphins in week 9. They got beat 13-30 by the 3-7 Miami Dolphins in week 9. That was absolutely crazy. Like, the Bills didn't score at all till the fourth quarter. So I think that is crazy for a team as good as the Buffalo Bills, as much as I hate them. And kudos to the Miami Dolphins, because I think they were able to win that without their star wide receiver Tyreek Hill, who snapped his leg early on in a heated rivalry, Miami Dolphins versus New York Jets. If you want to watch that, you can. I don't recommend watching Tyreek Hill's injury, but I do recommend watching these games, especially this game. Not if you're a Bills fan, because you're gonna have an even worse day after watching that. But anyway, yeah, that will conclude my game awards section, and after this break we will move on to the next section, the player awards section. Okay, and if you are just joining us, I have already did the section that was the game awards. Some pretty bad and some pretty good games in there. So if you want to watch that, you can. But now we shall move on to the last and final section, the players section. So, breakout player of the year goes to Jackson Smith-Njigba. There's basically not much to say about him. If you watched the NFL any throughout this season, you will know Jackson Smith-Njigba. He's an awesome receiver. He caught for a ton of touchdowns. He led his team to the Super Bowl. In the Super Bowl, it was honestly a defensive blowout, with the Seahawks winning 27-13. I think if the Patriots' defense had been a little softer, I can't think of his name. Who's the Seahawks quarterback name? Sam Darnold. I think if the Patriots' defense had been a little softer, Sam Darnold would have been open to more passing, and one of his receivers would have caught it. So I think if the Patriots defense wasn't so hard and Sam Darnold was able to pass more, I think Jackson Smith-Njigba would have a lot more targets, and potentially he would have won Super Bowl MVP. With another Seahawks wide receiver or tight end, I don't know what position he plays. I don't have a picture pulled up of him, but Cooper Kupp. He got traded to the Seahawks. He won Super Bowl MVP with the Rams back in 2022. I think that would have been cool. Have one MVP on one side of your offense, another MVP on the other side of your offense. But yeah, anyway, Jackson Smith-Njigba was just great for the Seahawks. He led them to a Super Bowl win. Yeah, just a great player. And speaking of the Seahawks Super Bowl MVP, I think the Seahawks kicker Jason Myers should have been the Super Bowl MVP because he was 4 for 4 for field goals. No, 5 for 5 field goals and 2 for 2 extra points. He scored 17 points in the Super Bowl. I think he should have been the MVP because the real MVP was Kenneth Walker, the third running back. Only 131 rushing yards for him. I think this guy should have been the MVP because look at his stats right here. If you want to pause and look at them, you can, but I just think the NFL stole MVP from them. So, moving on to our next breakout player and breakout rookie, Jackson Dart, quarterback of the New York Giants. It was during the New York Kansas City game at New York where Russell Wilson was starting for the Giants. I forget, either Russell Wilson either got injured or he got benched for Jackson Dart, but they realized Jackson Dart was a way better player than Russell Wilson, so Jackson Dart got the starting job for the Giants. And if you look at his stats, you'll see why he got the starting job over Russell Wilson. Again, if you want to pause, feel free. But speaking of the New York Giants, another sensational rookie, Cam Scatterbo. So Cam Scatterbo didn't finish the season. He got injured, but before his injury, he was a great running back. He scored the New York Giants' only touchdown against the Kansas City Chiefs. We beat them like 30-7, I think. But I had Scatterbo on my fantasy team the first few weeks when he got injured and was out for season. I dropped him to free agency, but if he did not get injured, I would have kept him because he was a great rookie. I mean, he almost led the league in rushing for a while. For a rookie, that is a big deal. So, yeah, those are really the 4 players in a nutshell that I wanted to talk about. So this will conclude the first annual NFL award ceremony. Thank you for watching this award ceremony, guys. If you liked it, please drop a like and subscribe. It would really mean a lot. I'm trying to get to my goal of 100 subscribers before the end of the year, and I really think we can do it. So please subscribe, and if you're interested in this content, I have a lot more content like this on my channel with card pulls. Last night I got this cool Nikola Jokic Panini Select card, and I just get some good pulls. So if you want to watch videos like that, they are under this video, and just please like, subscribe, and share, and always see you in the next one.